Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judith AVHA. Today we'll be looking at the topic, when God is silent, how do we react as believers? A whole lot of us tend to get angry, get upset, some even backslide when God is silent over a particular situation you might be facing at that point in time. But before I go into that, I want to look at some reasons why God might be silent, or why it might seem as if God is silent over our situations. At times, it might seem as if God is silent because He is working behind the scene. But as humans, we will not understand that part. We will feel that God has forsaken us, God has abandoned us, that God doesn't care. God might also be silent if He feels that we are not yet matured, both spiritually and physically, for that particular blessing we are asking for at that point in time. God might also be silent when we've drifted away from Him and we only come back now because we have a problem. God might want us to get closer to Him before He answers that request we are bringing to Him at that point in time. God might also be silent when there is a secret sin in our lives. When we are doing something that is wrong and you feel nobody is saying it, but God that sees everything is saying it. Another reason why God might be silent over situations is when our intent is not right. When you are asking for a particular thing because of you have evil intent concerning it. Maybe you want to use it to harm somebody, you want to use it to hurt somebody. God might not answer that request at that point in time. Also, God can also be silent when God does not approve of what we are asking for. When our request is based on selfish desires and not in line with God's will and purpose for our lives. So today, we go back to when God is silent. As believers, how are we supposed to react? The first thing is, God does not want us to grumble. He does not want us to murmur. At that point in time, when God is silent over our situation as believers, God wants us to have a heart of gratitude, appreciating Him for those things He has done in anticipation for what He is yet to do. That is the heart that every child of God is supposed to have towards God in that situation when it looks as if your prayers are not being answered. You're supposed to have a grateful heart, a heart of gratitude, a heart of joy. I know most times it's always difficult to have a heart of joy, especially when you're going through trying times and tough moments. You might not even have the urge or the zeal to pray or to praise God. Yes, we have all been there. But God still expects us, no matter the storm, to keep being grateful, to keep being appreciative of those things He has done in anticipation for what He will do for us. Another thing we are supposed to do as children of God is to be persistent. We are supposed to keep asking. We are supposed to keep praying. We shouldn't say we'll be praying for long and we're not getting results, so we are getting tired. As children of God, we're not supposed to get tired praying. We are supposed to keep praying. That prayer shows that we have that absolute faith that God can do it no matter how long it takes. So that's another thing we are supposed to do. We're supposed to be persistent. We are also supposed to keep trusting in God and have absolute faith in God, knowing that there is no other person that can help us at that point in time except God intervenes. We are also, as children of God, at that point in time when God is silent, we are supposed to be closer to God. We are supposed to run to God. We are supposed to make God our best friend at that point in time and not running from pillar to post, trying to find solution where there is no solution. Some might even end up going to the wrong places because of the particular situation they are going through at that point in time, instead of looking up to God, who is their present help in time of need. Another thing that God expects us to do is inquiry. God expects us to inquire, why is this prayer taking so long to receive answers? If you have been praying over a situation for a long time and it seems not to be getting answered, the best thing to do at that point in time is to go back to God. There is what they call inquiry prayer. That is when you need to go and seek the face of God and say, God, concerning this my situation, what is happening? Why is this happening? Why am I not getting results? I prayed for 5 years, I prayed for 10 years concerning this particular issue. Why am I not getting answer? the time you inquire from God, you'll be able to know the way forward. If you remember the story of David, when the children of Amalekite came, carried their wives, their goods and everything, David broke down in tears and started weeping. But instantly he encouraged himself in the Lord and he seek the face of God. That is, he inquired from God what he should do. He said, Lord, should I pursue? Will I recover? Will I overtake? And the Lord gave him specific instruction. God told him, pursue. You will overtake them and recover everything that you have lost. And that was exactly what happened. Another example of somebody that prayed inquiry prayer in the Bible was Daniel. When he sought the face of God concerning an issue, and God had answered the prayer, but the prince of Persia withheld the answer to his prayers. He went back to God to ask God, and God told him that his prayer has long been answered, but the prince of Persia was the reason why his prayers has not gotten to him. So if they've not inquired of God, maybe Daniel would have kept praying. And at a point, he might even get tired and give up and say, this situation is becoming too tough for me. But he went back to God. So God expects us that in the time when he seems in silence, we should go back and make inquiry from God. We should ask God, which way do we go? What do we do concerning this situation? That should be our main focus. And there's something I want us to also know. That even in that time when we feel that God is silent, God is never silent. Silence has a voice. What do I mean by that? For instance, somebody comes to me with a request and the person has narrated everything and I'm just silent about the whole thing. As humans, it might not go well with us. The person might start getting upset. The person might start getting angry that, I've been narrating everything and she's not even responding. She's not saying anything. And at that point in time, the person is saying those things. I may just be thinking, how will I be able to be of help to this person? What will I do for this person to come out of the situation? But the person might not even know what is going through my mind at that point in time. So that's what usually happens also. When we make requests to God, God is walking behind the scene. God is taking his time. So if you want to keep holding on to God, you should always learn to hold on to his promises. You should always learn to wait patiently for God. So by the time you wait patiently for God, the time you hold on to his promises, you will discover that even in that time when it seems God is silent, that you are moving on and people will be wondering that this request that she has been asking, up till now she has not gotten an answer, but she's always cheerful, she's always joyful. Yes, she might have time when she breaks down, when she feels that God has forgotten her, but immediately she encourages herself in the Lord and she goes back to God, and God tells her this is the way forward out of this situation. This is what you should do next. And God becomes her guide. So in that situation, where we think God has forgotten us, where we think that God is silent, we should know that silence has a voice that is speaking at the background. The problem with us believers these days is most times we don't even have time for God. We are always too busy with our schedules that we don't have time for quiet time. At times, God is not even silent over the situation that you feel is silent. God might be speaking, but we are not even there to listen. We are not even there to hear. By the time you are not there with God, how will you know when He is speaking? There are times in our life that we need to isolate ourselves from our families, our society, everything. We just want to be with God alone. It might just be 1 hour in a day. It might just be 30 minutes. And it's in that situation that God will be able to speak and tell you this is the way forward. This is what you should do and this is what you shouldn't do. So I want us to always believe and know that every time that we are faced with difficult challenges, that God is working behind the scene, and that silence, that we feel that God is silent, that God is also speaking behind the scene, even if we might not be listening, or even if we might not be hearing Him speak. God is always there to help us. I want you to know that God has not abandoned us in that situation. And if you have not even accepted Christ, it's difficult, because God does not even know you as His child. So even when you pray most times, it's difficult, because the Bible says you cannot come to the Father except through His Son, Jesus Christ. So the first step as an unbeliever is knowing that God, accepting Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior. That is when you can come to Him and He will listen. Because if you have not accepted Jesus and you are praying, the prayer is entering into a voicemail or a wrong number, as I will call it. Because if somebody calls me and maybe the person missed one digit and calls me with somebody else's number, the first thing I say is, sorry, it's a wrong number. So also, if you have not accepted Jesus and you are trying to pray or you are trying to make an inquiry from God, it's as if you are calling a wrong number. So the first thing for those that have not accepted Christ is to first and foremost invite Jesus into their life. And when you invite Jesus into your life, Jesus will be able to give you divine direction and divine guidance. So whatever you are going through, I believe that God, who is the all-knowing God, who is the all-sufficient God, will make a way for us, even when we've lost hope, even when we feel that we've lost everything. If you are listening to me and you're already on the verge of backsliding right now, I want to tell you that God is not silent. God is working behind the scene. Don't forget his promises. Hold on to his promises. And sooner than you know, God will come into that situation. And if what you are asking for is in accordance with the will of God, very soon it will begin to manifest and the whole world will see the goodness of God in your life. Until I come your way next time, stay safe, stay blessed, do have a great time. Bye.